Hello, today I'm looking at Majjhima number 99, the Subha Sutta, translated as To Subha. So the location is Savatthi in Jetta's Grove at Anathapindika's Park. And the main folk involved are Subha, who's a Brahmin student, son of a well-off Brahmin called Todaya, and also Buddha. And as usual, he's referred to throughout the sutta as either Master Gautama, the Blessed One, Tathagata, as well as Buddha. And the sutta starts with, now Subha, the Brahmin student, son of the Brahmin Todaya, was staying in Savatthi, and he asked the householder he was staying with if he knew of any arahants in the area, or enlightened ones. And the householder mentioned Buddha. So Subha, the Brahmin student, set off to see him. After exchanging greetings and courtesies, Subha asked Buddha, Master Gautama, the householder is accomplishing the true way, the Dharma that is wholesome, whereas one who has gone forth into homelessness is not accomplishing the true way, the Dharma that is wholesome. What does Master Gautama say about that? Buddha replies that it is irrelevant whether one is a householder or one gone forth to homelessness. Either who has entered on the wrong way of practice is not accomplishing the true way, the Dharma that is wholesome. Similarly, I praise the right way of practice by either the householder or one who has gone forth. So the next question from Subha, the Brahmin student, is, further, the Brahmins say this, being a householder involves a great deal of activity, functions, engagements, undertakings. It is of great fruit, whereas those who have gone forth into homelessness involve in a small amount of activity, few functions, few engagements, small undertakings. It is small fruit. What does Master Gautama say about this? Buddha's response is that those who undertake great activities can succeed or fail, which bears great fruit or small fruit. So too with those who do not undertake great activities, if they succeed or fail, will bear great fruit or small fruit. By example, Buddha states that something that involves a great deal of activity, but if it fails, bears small fruit, is agriculture. But the opposite applies to agriculture if he succeeds. The same with merchant trading. It may be great or small fruit. So the same principles can be applied to a householder or to one gone forth into homelessness. Now the next question from Subha, the Brahmin student, is, there are 5 things for the performance of merit for accomplishing the wholesome, and they are truth, asceticism, celibacy, study, and generosity. What does Master Gautama say about this? Buddha replies by way of question, tell me, student, is there any Brahmin who has realized these 5 things by direct knowledge and investigation? No, was the reply. Buddha repeats the question, asking about direct knowledge by the previous 7 generations of Brahmins, then by the ancient Brahmin seers, the founders, composers of hymns and chants. Each time, Subha, the Brahmin student, affirms that none of them have realized the 5 things by direct knowledge. And then, as per a previous sutta, Buddha alludes to it being like a file of blind men, each leading another, but none knowing where they are going. This response upset Subha, the student, and he reviled and censured the Blessed One. Despite the outburst, Subha, the Brahmin student, then continues, the well-respected Brahmin, Pakarasati, says that some recluses and Brahmins claim superhuman powers, But this is ridiculous, for how could a human being know or see a superhuman state? That is impossible. How could the Brahmin Pakarasati know this when he doesn't even understand the mind of the slave woman Punika? So Buddha asks a question of Subha. If a man was born blind and could not see colours or shapes or the stars or the sun or the moon, does this mean they do not exist? No, came the reply. So too, Buddha continues, the Brahmin Pakarasati is blind and visionless, that he could know or see or realise a superhuman state. That is impossible. But as with the other well-to-do Brahmins of Kosala, such as Brahmin Chanki, your father Brahmin Tadaya, what is better for them to do, accord with convention or flaunt convention? Accord with convention, Master Gotama. Buddha responds, is it better that their statements are thoughtful or thoughtless? Thoughtful, Master Gotama. And should their statements be better after reflecting or not reflecting? After reflecting, Master Gotama. Is it better for them that the statement they make are beneficial or unbeneficial? Beneficial, Master Gotama. So then, in summary, Subha the Brahmin student agrees that the statement made by Brahmin Pakarasati flaunted worldly convention, was thoughtless, without reflection, and unbeneficial. Buddha then says that Brahman Pakarasati is blocked, obstructed by the three hindrances, by the five hindrances, sensual desire, ill will, drowsiness, restlessness, and doubt. That he could know or see or realise a superhuman state, this is impossible. Similarly, the Brahman Pakarasati is tied to the five chords of sensual pleasure, the sounds, odours, flavours, sights, touch, infatuated with them, committed to them. He enjoys them without understanding their dangers and how to escape from them. So to know or see or realise a superhuman state, that is impossible. The next question from Buddha is as follows. Which two fires would burn better flame, colour and radiance? The one that burns dependent on fuel, such as dry grass and wood, or a fire that might burn independent of a fuel, like dry grass and wood? Master Gotama, if it were possible for a fire to burn independent of fuel, this would have a better flame, colour and radiance. Buddha replies, it is impossible for a fire to burn independent of fuel unless it has supernormal power. So I say that a fire that burns dependent on fuel is like the rapture that is dependent on the five sense pleasures, sight, smell, touch, taste, sound. And that the fire that burns independent of fuel is the rapture that is apart from sensual pleasures and unwholesome states. So I'll just repeat that, is the rapture that is apart from sensual pleasures and unwholesome states. And what is this rapture? A bhikkhu monk, quite secluded from sensual pleasures and unwholesome states, enters on and abides in the first jhana, which is accompanied by applied and sustained thought, with rapture and pleasure born of seclusion. With the stilling of applied and sustained thought, the bhikkhu or monk enters upon and abides in the second jhana, which has self-confidence and singleness of mind, without applied sustained thought, with rapture and pleasure born of concentration. Then Buddha asks Subha, the Brahmin student, which of the five things that the Brahmins subscribe for merit is the most fruitful? Generosity is the most fruitful, came the reply. Then Buddha asks, if a Brahmin gathering holds a great sacrifice, and one Brahmin attending would think he might get the best seat, the best food, but then another Brahmin attending got the best seat and best alms food, the first Brahmin will be angry and displeased. And what kind of result do the Brahmins describe for this? Asks Buddha. Master Gautama, Brahmins do not behave this way. They are motivated by compassion. So, student, says Buddha, isn't this the sixth basis for making merit? Compassion? Subha, the Brahmin student, agrees. So, asks Buddha, of the 5 things for merit making, is it more often seen amongst householders or amongst those gone forth into homelessness? Mostly those who have gone forth into homelessness, replies Subha. For the householder has a great deal of activity, functions and engagements. He does not always speak the truth, practice asceticism, observe celibacy, engage in study, or engage in generosity. Buddha says, these 5 things for making merit I call equipment of the mind. That is, for developing a mind without hostility and without ill will. So he who follows the 5 things for making merit gains inspiration in the Dhamma, gains gladness connected with the Dhamma. Then Subha, the Brahma student, says that he has heard that Master Gautama knows the path to the Brahma world. Buddha replies that just as a locally born villager would know the path to his village, so he, Buddha, knows the path to the Brahma world, the Brahma Vihara. So Buddha describes the path to the Brahma world. Here a bhikkhu or monk abides with his mind imbued with loving kindness, imbued with compassion, with equanimity, with altruistic joy. That is the 4 divine abodes. Without hostility and without ill will. So this is then repeated for each of the stages. Subha, the Brahman student, then thanks Buddha for making everything clear and finishes by saying he goes to Master Gautama for refuge and to the Dhamma and to the Sangha. And let Master Gautama remember him as a lay follower who has gone to him for refuge for life. And then the sutta ends with the Brahmin student meeting a fellow Brahmin, and they're discussing how accomplished the recluse Master Gautama is, and how it is a great gain for King Pasenadi of Kosala that the Tathagata, accomplished and fully enlightened, lives in his realm. And so ends Majjhima Nikaya number 99, the Subha Sutta. Thanks for watching.